All right, everybody, welcome to a very special Teaching Crypto. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We've been waiting to do this show for a long time. Is today the day that Bitcoin finally hits 100K? It probably is. If not, it's coming very soon. Mr. FOMO, here we are. A couple months ago, people said this was not happening. And not only is it happening, it is happening with some deep, deep momentum here as Bitcoin shows a ton of strength that even we thought there would be some type of delay in this in terms of we were not going to go straight to 100K, or it looks like we may have been wrong as this thing just does not want to go back at all. There was a brief consolidation in the low 90s, but look at this thing. Got 99 yesterday, got 99 a second time, and now as we are on the air, it's making the charge again.
Yeah, this has been an exciting time because I honestly thought when we printed new all-time highs, you'd see drawbacks, especially when we got to those psychological levels, 90, 95. You know, I just couldn't believe we blew through like 85, 90, 95 without seeing any kind of a consolidation, like you said, or a drawback. And so I'm very impressed with the strength that Bitcoin is showing right now. Um, I was one of those people that was kind of bored with what Bitcoin was doing just a month ago. I said it on the show that, and they may even have been, less than that, less than a month ago. But boy, have I been shocked by this. This has been a pleasant surprise, especially for my portfolio. Now, I wish that alts would run a little bit more, but
It's coming. It's coming. Well, some are running, right? XRP making a rise to 150, Cardano making a rise to $1. So we talked about those last time. And ETH has finally woken up as well. How about ETH? Finally, we told you guys at 3K, do your own research. ETH was an amazing value. I'm telling you guys, ETH will slowly follow Bitcoin over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So if
and
you
what
want
is
to catch ETH before 5K, you still got a chance. And we'll talk about Sol in a little bit as well.
you have a target for ETH for this bull run that you were pretty adamant about. I think it was around 10K, right?
Yeah, so the two targets that I'm looking at is first 5K and then 10K. I think I don't have that problem at all if people want to take profits at 5K, right? But also I think it'd be good to sell between the 9 and 10K range as well if you want to be patient. It depends on how quickly you want to take profits, right? I think the 5K is happening maybe before January, maybe. I think so. And so that's good because you can take profits and ETH will consolidate and go back down. And then you can catch it a second time and do a little bit of double dip at the party. Just like we've been doing with Sol, because remember, we rode Sol to the train, right, to 200. And now we're riding Sol to the 3 to 400 train, right? And Sol has also been on fire. And so I wanted to talk about that one as well, because yes, if you had joined the Sol train when it was at 120 or even 20 and held for this time, we've been talking about Sol for a long time, right? It's not about overnight success here. It's about patience. It's about doing your research. And that's why we love our viewers, because they are loyal. We may not have 100,000 subs, but the subs we do have, they come, they watch the show, and they are winning with us, which is amazing. Look at
We
this.
don't have 100,000 subs yet. We're on our way.
Not yet. But
We're on our way.
hey, by the way, the bull run has just begun. So if you're watching the show, share it, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. But remember a couple things. Super chats are available and store is available, because this is not ending anytime soon. So here we go at 260. My first prediction is 300. Obviously, the Soul Train, has a stop at 300, but I also think 400 very, very, very reasonable. That might take a little bit longer. I think you're going to see 300 within the next 4 to 5 days. Honestly, that's going to happen, right? But 400 might take some time. It might take until the beginning of 2025, but I also think it's coming. So if you want to jump on Sol late and still make some nice little money here, do your own research. I think it could definitely happen. Again, this is not the most explosive token. I'm not expecting a 10 to 20x here, but you want to have consistent risers during the bull run, right? Because other tokens will take long breaks. So it's nice to have some ETH and some SOL. Everybody, every single person watching the show, if they are involved in this bull run, again, we're not financial advisors, a lot of BTC, some ETH, some SOL, and then you sprinkle in some alts that you really love.
Yeah, and just for just for cards on the table sake, my portfolio, as much as I have, AIOZ and Sol and ETH and what else do I have? There's a bunch of them in there. SWE and Dogecoin now. um, as much as I have those, I was looking at it yesterday, and Bitcoin still makes up like 60 some odd percent of my portfolio. And so when you're building your portfolio, you still need to have those cornerstones like Bitcoin. And for me, Bitcoin, like I said, makes up over 60% of my portfolio. But then you've got to have ETH, you've got to have Sol. Um, these are those blue chips that you can't leave out, especially when Sol goes on these runs. That's why we call it the Sol train. It's not just a ripoff of the old TV show. It's it's based on the runs that it does make. And just as a side note, a couple of weeks ago, you were talking about Bitcoin at 80,000, 90,000, and I was kind of hesitant to go along with you. That's what this show is about, is not just the fact that we disagree, but there is when AZcrypto makes his predictions, he's not just doing it, he's just not pulling a rabbit out of the hat. He's not just pulling it out of thin air. He knows what he's talking about. This show is about some of his genius when it comes to this. And so when he says that Sol is going to 300 or 400, and I say, and I have a shocked look on my face, the person that you should be following is AZcrypto in this one, because he's usually right when it comes to these things. Like I said, just a few weeks ago, I was being conservative and hesitant and saying, I don't know about Bitcoin going to 80,000. And here we are knocking on the door of 100,000. So
I had 80,000 by November 1st, and I got that buzz cut. Not quite, didn't quite go bald. However, a week later, we killed 80K. So yes, I was about 7 to 8 days late on my prediction of 80K, but it did happen, and with ferocity. Now,
so if you haven't hopped on the Sol train yet,
time.
there's still time.
There's still time. There's still time. By the way, Doge is consolidating right now at 40 cents. That's not a bad buy. Be careful chasing something that's pumping. I did want to share something that really is historic here. So if this is the day, amazing. We might come back on a second time this weekend to celebrate. Look at the number of Bitcoin leaving exchanges here as the price goes up. That is an amazing chart right there. If you don't know, people put their Bitcoin on exchanges when they're ready to take profit traditionally, and then go off exchanges when they know that they're not going to sell for weeks and months, sometimes even years at a time. That is a beautiful chart. What that tells me is we are nowhere near finished the top for this bull run, right? So there were three scenarios. Bull run ends end of December 2024. Bull run extends to April or May 2025, or the bull run, and I think this is in play, and I'll explain why in just a minute. Bull run extends to November of 2025. This tells me, Mr. FOMO, we still got a ways to go.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point here. Watching the smart money and watching the big money, and what they're doing, and if it's not going to the exchange, if it's coming off the exchange and staying off the exchange, that means they're not planning on selling anytime soon. And so we'll have to keep an eye on this chart and see if it makes any sudden movements, and we'll let you know. But as of right now, this looks like we are headed into a pretty strong bull run.
Yes, I love Michael Saylor stock. Absolutely. It's 100x in 4.5 years. It is a great buy. You know what it is? It's what Disney and Microsoft used to be. It's only going to go up over the next 5 to 10 years. So absolutely, that's a great point. Especially when we get to the next bear market, buy some MSTR and hold it for 4 years, and you'll be very, very happy. Great suggestion here by Tennessee. Well, Mr. FOMO, here's the deal. I think we're going to hit the 100K. We weren't quite ready for the victory cigar yet, but when we do hit 100K, we are coming back because we were hoping it was going to be this morning. Didn't quite get there, but it's coming. In fact, my next target, listen to this, Mr. FOMO, is 114K. I think that's our next stop. Forget about 100. I think we're going to 114. I think we're headed there by early January at the latest, but I think we're going to get to 100K hopefully today. Well, Mr. FOMO, this was a great show. We are on our way to 100K. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Please, please pass on the show. Long time to go for this bull run, guys. So let's all win together. For Mr. FOMO, this is AZcrypto. You guys